Bonjour, Fransley.
It's the first program of its kind in the United States. Priscilla Joseph teaching her kindergartners at the Mattahunt Early Elementary School in Haitian Creole and English.
I'm watching these kids' brains just develop in so many different ways in both languages. I think it's so amazing.
The classroom's a port of welcome for students, mostly of Haitian background or newcomers from Haiti.
When they see the pictures of little kids in Haiti or the different environments or school settings, which is very different, and they are just so engaged and they're like, yes, because some of them, they do miss home. They do miss the differences, so it makes them more engaged and then they're more willing to be part of the classroom.
As Assistant Principal Joelle Gamir explains, that also applies to Haitian culture.
To see it recognized in an academic setting, in a classroom, to see that it will be continuing is great validation for the Haitian community.
At breakfast, Creole can be a language for bonding. But in the classroom, it's a language of literacy and a language of order.
At this age, they need to understand print carries meanings. They need to know the alphabet. They need to have a very print-rich environment. So therefore, it was important for us to make sure that we have everything in Haitian Creole so the kids can make these connections.
The school's principal, Walter Henderson, calls the program a bridge to a regular curriculum with more exposure to English in later grades.
We're not taking language from a deficit, but it's more of an asset. Whatever the kids can bring from their language, from their heritage, we're going to use that and build up their academic skills.
Other students at the school are also getting exposed to Haitian Creole, starting with a breakfast greeting from the principal.
The Haitian Creole word for Tuesday is what?
And what goes on in class builds on the home.
The parents in the Haitian dual language classroom are very involved. They care. They really just have a yearning for their students to be exceptional scholars.
For BNN News in Mattapan, this is Chris Lovett. To tell us more about the innovative projects are the K-1 teacher in the dual language program at what's now the Mattahunt Elementary School, Priscilla Joseph, and the president and CEO of EdVestors, Laura Perille. Thank you very much for being with us.
Glad to be here.
I'll start with Priscilla Joseph. Talk about what got this program started and why it's a good fit for the community.
Well, because Mattapan is one of the biggest communities that serve Haitian families. So a lot of community leaders and the Haitian Parent Association put together and decided that this was an opportunity, and with the school closing and coming back as a new school, to basically bring this program alive. As you know, in Haiti, most of the people, their academic language is more in French, but they speak Creole at home. So we wanted to take, as we strive for bilingual education, we wanted to take this opportunity and add the Haitian Creole dual language to the Mattapan, the Mattahunt Early Elementary School.
What's so important about starting off people as young as you have in preschool with this dual language? Because they're going to grow up speaking English in most cases. So why is it so important to continue what's going on back home in the family?
Well, there's a few reasons. So we are starting earlier than other dual language programs in Haitian Creole. So we are starting at K-1, whereas the kids are a little bit younger, and they are able to pick up language a little bit more. We also have kids that are coming from Haiti, so they are building a confidence and they're becoming acclimated into the American culture. So as they are learning Creole in school, they are still in the United States, they're still around their peers, and they're still learning to pick up English from wherever they are, because that's where they are.
Laura, EdVestors has been giving grants, I think, this year to about 10 schools, and in addition to those, the Mattahunt got something more generous, and I guess, why is that?
So you're exactly right. The projects that we fund are through our School Solutions Seed Fund, and EdVestors works at many levels to help Boston schools improve. But the Seed Fund is special because that's the experiment ground. That's where groups of teachers or a couple of schools who are trying to solve similar problems can come and get a little bit of seed funding to test out and pilot their idea. And so in addition to all the great reasons that Priscilla just outlined for why a Haitian dual language program, there are a lot of experiments that we fostered through the Seed Fund. But this one in particular is interesting because They're trying to do something that's not been done before. There are a number of dual language programs. They're actually a priority in the Boston Public Schools because the research shows that both native and non-native speakers actually do very well in dual language programs, and it's an even faster way to teach both languages to non-native English speakers. But in the case of Haitian Creole, there are many Spanish dual language programs, including here in Boston, but this is the first of its kind in Haitian Creole, which is a predominantly oral language, and to the best of our knowledge, the first of its kind in the country. So seed funding an idea like this to give them the resources to test this out and model it is exactly what the School Solutions Seed Fund is trying to do.
Priscilla, currently this is a program that's only in the preschool grades, but this is part of a larger school. Not everybody is of Haitian background. What's it like as someone who comes from a Haitian American family to work in a school where this is now a kind of a culture that is sort of structurally respected throughout the whole school?
For me, I love seeing it. I was born here, but of my cultural heritage, it was great to see these kids and everybody. Like in the school, we have the Haitian Creole word of the day. Therefore, all the kids can tell you how to say bonjour or days of the week or random words in Creole. And although we are the main language for the dual language program, the other kids have opportunities to interact with these students, and they're acknowledging that we are all different, we have different cultures, and we have similarities and we have differences.
This is BNN News, and we're talking with Laura Perille from EdVestors and Priscilla Joseph from the Mattahunt School. Coming back to Laura, there are many other kinds of innovation that you're supporting, but one of the things I noticed, and I think this is what I heard from Priscilla too, is that to make people feel welcome, included in the schools. One of the grants is for a school that does this for LGBTQ students.
Exactly.
How does that work?
So it's a real, it was a theme in this year's Seed Fund. Both the LGBTQ plus initiative, which involves 5 high schools, and the BPS Safe and Welcoming Schools office, as well as the Haitian Dual Language program, are, in our view, were really good examples of educators recognizing that you need to identify and celebrate students' identity and culture in order to help them access the important academics that we all want them to get. And so in different ways, both of those 2 programs are getting at supporting, welcoming, and celebrating student identity. And that's an important asset for learning, particularly in the young early years, where helping them see their home life and family culture reflected in the classroom and then used as a launch pad for greater acquisition of academics is, I think, a real asset-based approach.
Priscilla, you also want schools to be inclusive in how they deal with parents. Does this program make a difference that you teach?
Oh, definitely. We have a lot of parent involvement. Some of the things that really touches my heart is that parents come to me and they tell me how much they love to see that their culture is being reflected in the school. I've also had parents tell me that they're second generations and that their kids are going to their grandparents and reciting national songs. So it makes them feel good, and it helps other families basically who have lost touch with their culture kind of regain that touch. And then we have new families who are not of any Haitian descent who are learning more about the culture. So it basically has many different people just wanting to come to the school, wanting to be a part of the classroom. They want to volunteer. So we have tons of parent involvement. My parents, they call me all the time about, Miss Joseph, I love this song. Can you tell me what it's about? But right now we're just trying to find different ways to make it more appealing to other families who are not necessarily in the classroom with us, and make it more wide into the school.
Laura, you're also trying to, I guess, improve the experience for teachers in one of your programs. I know there's a self-care program.
So that one is really focused on sort of mental health strategies for teachers who are dealing with a lot of students experiencing trauma in their classroom, and particularly teachers in the early elementary grades, and perhaps Priscilla can identify with this as well, are often the only adult in a classroom all the time dealing with a small group of, dealing with a group of children. So finding ways for teachers to regenerate, but actually in many ways the entire Seed Fund is really an educator's testing ground. And so almost all of the initiatives, inclusive of this one, we've talked about the need in the community, but the Seed Fund is really about teachers solving challenges and problems. The problem in this case is that there are no existing curricula for a Haitian dual language program. So these teachers, Priscilla and her colleagues, are building this from scratch. But so in many ways, everything we do inside the Seed Fund is about educators tackling common challenges that other teachers can learn from.
Priscilla, we're talking about trauma and stress. There's a lot of that affecting families because of worries about their immigration status, including in the Haitian community. Is this part of what you've got to deal with now as a teacher?
It is. Most families, they do not like to talk about it, but the school as a whole tries to let families know that their status, as in BPS, we don't go looking or trying to find out about their status, but that they know that they're in a safe place. I also let my parents know that if you need help with filling out any applications or any paperwork, that we are here for you and we are here to serve you, and that the school as a whole will help support these families.
And finally, Laura, if people want some more information about these programs and what's happening with EdVestors, you've got a website where they can go to?
Yes, so you can get to www.edvestors.org, spelled EDVESTORS.org, and through that you can click on a button for the Seed Fund, learn more about Priscilla's project, and or reach out to us and we can put them in touch.
Well, thank you both, Laura Perille and Priscilla Joseph.